There we are. Hope I find you well. Let's talk. It's always good to talk, isn't it? When you're going along your move close and thinking to yourself, sort of thing, or talking to yourself, or talking to a pot or something. Sometimes I do that in the kitchen. I know you're a bit slow and boiled there, mister. This type of thing. That's what you get when you're living on your own. You're talking to things. Uh, trees. We mentioned trees, but this is part two. Woodman's spare that tree. I said that before. But in any event, this tree, uh, or rather this tree stump, is situated in St. Oliver Plunkett's garden here in Oldcastle. And there's a grand story attached to it. And this older man comes, and the tree stump says to him, "I'm afraid I've nothing to offer you now," he says, the tree stump says to the man. All my branches, they're gone. You cut them down, and you had apples from the trees and that, but then you cut them down for firewood, and then you cut them down to make something uh, with the rest of it. So now I'm just reduced to a tree stump, so I have nothing to offer you. And the old man says, "Well, I don't need," and the tree stump said, "and you had shelter under with the sun." And the old man said, "Well, I don't need the branches, or I don't need any of that. And what about the apples and that? No, I don't need any of that. And well, I can't offer you anything," says the tree stump. "Well, all I want," says the old man, "is to sit down and rest." Oh, the tree stump grew happy and said, "Well, I'm fit for that. Sit down and take your ease." And the tree stump was very happy, and so was the old man. That's the story about the tree stump. I paraphrased it. It goes better than the way I've described it. But you have to use your own words, don't you? You can't be reading everything verbatim. And then in the same place, there's a bridge, and a little story attached to that too. An old man in evening tide uh, crossed over and wouldn't be coming back again, but he built a bridge across the flowing tide. And the pilgrim near said to the old man, "Old man, why build a bridge here? You won't be coming back any more." And the old man said, "Good friend, I am not building this bridge for me. I'm building for a young man that comes this way. This bridge is built for him to cross in the midnight sun and not coming back again." The story there refers to when our life is over. It's done that way, and it was written by a very well read individual, a poet of some sort, or a great writer from the United States. His name now is not just in my head at the moment. The encyclopedia there. There's so much information, and there's only so much you can retain. Then you remember it a couple of minutes afterwards. But suffice to say that it's a little story, and between the tree stump and the bridge, these are little stories that shows you the kind of good and what's the purpose of life. is to do good as best you can, and with that sort of way of going on, there's only so much you can do in life. I support a lot of causes, pro-life people, and EWTN as well. They have a place here in Limerick, and sometimes there's one or two programs that they do, and they're very good. There's a Frances Hogan does something up in Ards Peninsula in Donegal, Ards, whatever, and she's excellent. She does the Bible, but she tells a story about it, and it's very relevant. And then there's a fella that has done documentaries, chap, and he's very good. He did one, for example, with parish priest in Knock, and the pilgrim path from Ballintubber Abbey to Croagh Patrick. Well, he didn't go up Croagh Patrick, but St. Patrick was supposed to have gone there, and he's going in the pilgrim path. There's graves for the during the famine. There's mass graves for young children that were buried, mass graves, and likewise adults then somewhere else. And mass is often said in the summertime on Mass Rocks, which was celebrated years ago. So that was a great story, and there was other ones as well. And I think the program that they do from here resonate very well. We get programs coming from EWTN in Britain, and as far as I'm concerned, they don't have the same depth that they have here. That's my opinion. And so Christian TV, when it gets going, will be concentrating on the great practice of the Catholic faith in this country in the olden times. Of course, persecuted by the British, their churches destroyed, the monasteries. So these are things that we hope to bring to fore, but we won't be concentrating. We'll be showing what the mass rocks are, and we hope to have tour guides. And when I say we hope, it should be a good thing to have. There can be volunteers that are mature and retired, and are able to sort of talk about the various places and the history attached to it. A great idea to promote religious tourism. Anyway, I hope at the Let's Talk, I often digress to other little topics, but that's what talk does. And because if you're talking to a few, they then come out with their stories. But I've such this, my age and one thing or another, I've had all the experiences during life in other places, and the beauty of this country is amazing because there's hills and mountains, and when you go up and you often look at the surrounding countryside, it's very nice, and when it's not, say, raining or cloudy that you can't see much. When you sometimes go up and where I'm living here and the place area up the mountain is that, sign up. But when you're up there, you can see the Dublin Mountains on a clear day, even this time of the year. And then when you're coming back, you can see the mountains are way off over, goodness, maybe in Sligo or something, not maybe that far, but you can see mountains, and they're a good bit away. So this is a great gift. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your evening and have a chat if you're sitting, there's a few knocking about. That's what they used to have the pubs here for one time. A chat and smoking your pipe and telling stories. It wasn't gawking at the television all the time. You won't learn that from that stuff. Bye now.